Grimace Shake is a cocktail that was initially intended to kill.
Hello everyone, my name is LAUT and today we will delve into the mysteries surrounding the family restaurant chain, McDonald's. We will find out why the Grimace Shake is killing people and why McDonald's wants us to believe in it.
Sorry for the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. A devastating wave of fatalities has reverberated across the globe, sending shockwaves through communities worldwide. Eyewitnesses are raising alarming concerns, pointing fingers at a popular McDonald's product known as the Grimace Shake. However, it's important to emphasize that, as of this moment, conclusive evidence linking this product to the tragic events has yet to be established. In the midst of uncertainty, our primary message is one of caution. We urge everyone to exercise the utmost vigilance when it comes to their food
Happy
choices.
birthday,
It is crucial
Grimace.
to prioritize your safety and well-being in these uncertain times. Authorities are actively investigating these incidents, and we will continue to keep you updated as new information emerges. Stay tuned for more updates, and above all, stay safe.
Before we dive into discussing theories, we need to get a little grasp on the McDonald's universe. Yeah, you heard me right. They have a whole universe with lots of comics, cartoons, amusement parks, rich lore, and plenty of characters.
It all started back in 1963, when the land of McDonald's emerged. A place where you can eat anything. Naturally, McDonald himself lived there with his friends. In each new episode, they went on adventures during which they kept snacking, apple pies that grew on the trees, hamburgers, and French fries growing in the fields. There is even an ice cream mountain and a milkshake volcano, and much more. Of course, such a marvelous place had its inhabitants, characters based on the famous McDonald's food items. For instance, Mayor McCheese, a creature with a cheeseburger for a head, Officer Big Mac, the Hamburglar, and many others. And of course, there was the perpetrator of today's theory, Grimace.
Even then, an enigma surrounded him, as no one could quite understand what he represented. He looked like a pile of who knows what, and of course people were tormented by the question, who is he?
Theory number 1. Disease.
Just one sip is enough for the victim of the drink to die a slow death, while writhing in terrifying convulsions. But what makes such a seemingly simple cocktail so deadly?
The roots of this theory stem from animated film released in 2001. In the plot, our purple monster receives a plea for help from his tribe. It turns out that there is an entire race of grimaces living on a magical island, the route to which no one knows. But it wasn't always that way. Long ago, evil people infiltrated the island and stole almost all of the grimaces' treasures, leaving them hurt and angry, causing them to dance in despair. The island detached from the seabed due to their crushing stomping and began to drift, eventually getting lost in the vast expanse of the ocean. Now, their treasure are beyond anyone's reach. According to the story, the pirate wrote that letter to track Grimace, who happened to possess a map showing the secret island's location. After a long adventure, Grimace and his crew defeated the pirates, and in gratitude for saving the Grimace's tribe, they gave their last treasure, which turned out to be a golden cup. Grimace accepts such prestigious gift and takes it home to show his friends and visitors at McDonald's. But this becomes his biggest mistake.
It's this cup that's causing the gruesome death of a large number of people. But what evidence points to the credibility of this particular theory?
After rewatching the series, we can more or less accurately determine the location of the secret Grimace's island. To begin with, the lighthouse at the harbor's entrance, which we can see at the beginning of the episode, Comparing multiple lighthouses located all over North America, we can identify the most similar one. The Ponce de Leon lighthouse in Florida. One of the characters studying the map says that the ship needs to be sent south. On the map, south of Florida, we'll find the Caribbean islands. By studying the sea life and coral reefs, we can assume that before detaching from the seabed, the Grimace Island was initially located near Cuba, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. This assumption is also confirmed by the people shown in one of the series fragments, painted natives with pierced ears and animal skin instead of clothing, strongly resembling the Aztecs and Maya, indigenous people who once inhabited Mexico.
So, how does the island's location connect to the lethal cocktail?
Here is the thing. In 2010, there was a terrible cholera outbreak on the island of Haiti. Cholera is an acute intestinal infection that can easily be contracted by drinking contaminated water. In 2010, there were over 800,000 registered cases of infection on the island of Haiti. Many people died. Do you know the symptoms of cholera? Attacking the intestines. This disease leads to watery diarrhea and vomiting, eventually causing the body to go into hypovolemic shock and, as a result, death.
And how do people die from the cocktail then? Precisely the same way.
But where and how did the Grimace tribe get this disease? Well, it's simple. When people infiltrate an isolated population from the outside world, they bring various illnesses with them. Our bodies have adapted to them over a long period, mitigating the effects. However, unprepared creatures, like the Grimace tribe, experience the full impact of the disease. The Grimace bodies weren't ready to fight an unknown illness, so they easily became infected. The disease, finding such an easy carrier, quickly mutated into cholera, we know, which the Grimace tribe leader unknowingly transmitted through the very same golden cup. Back home, Grimace began producing the Grimace Shake, possibly even using the same golden cup, not realizing how many people he was condemned to death.
Let's go back to the good old days, when the grass was greener, the sky was bluer, and Grimace just appeared on the scene. But he wasn't called that back in the days.
Grimace's real name is Evil Grimace, and he looks nothing like he does now. However, Evil Grimace didn't last long, as the marketers quickly realized that Evil Grimace was shocking and scaring children, and even some adults. So a decision was made to change him. That's how he came to look like he does now. A jolly fellow with a nasal voice, who, instead of stealing shakes, simply loves to drink them in a large quantities. However, a bit later, this version of him loses interest among the restaurant visitors, leading the marketing machinery to remove Grimace, forgetting about him for many years.
But what's strange is that after disappearing for 20 years, he returned on a birthday. How convenient. A ghost, huh? What details support this particular version?
Firstly, what's a poltergeist? It's an angry spirit of once living being who couldn't transition to the other world and got stuck in ours due to the overwhelming negative feelings and emotions at the time of death. But how does this relate to Grimace?
Close your eyes and try to imagine the following. You've been just created, and it doesn't matter by whom, be it a god, another powerful being, or perhaps even the whim of a chance. You've been made, infused with the qualities, feelings, and emotions that define you as you. These qualities can be positive, negative, good or bad, it doesn't matter. What matters is that they are yours. But before you even had a chance to understand yourself fully, suddenly, the cold hand of the Creator turns you into a mush. Because, well, people didn't like you. Then, from the mush that is left of you, they sculpt a better version, with cold hands, changing your nature, distorting your essence. Finally, we get the product that consumers prefer. You, but not you. Moreover, almost immediately after these changes, you're forgotten for many years, which is essentially death for a restaurant mascot. And then, after 20 years, they resurrect you. And instead of apologies, they say, "Smile, it's your birthday today." Personally, even the mere thought of that fills me up with the deep anger. What about you? So it turns out that the Grimace is an angry spirit, angry at everyone, and the shake is part of a ritual to summon him, like an Ouija board for demons. It so happens that McDonald's guards its recipes, almost as with blood, but the internet community managed to simulate the Grimace Shake recipe. Here it is.
100 grams of raspberries, 100 grams of blueberries, 3 tablespoons of ice cream, 200 grams of milk, a mix, and add whipped cream. And voila, you have the Grimace Shake.
As we can see, there is nothing scary or dangerous in the preparation recipe. But keep in mind that this is just a counterfeit, an imitation of the real formula. According to this theory, during 20 years of Grimace's break, he had an opportunity to visit many unseen places, where he stumbled across an unknown berry.
It has no taste, so that it wouldn't be noticeable in the shake. However, it has one fascinating effect. Just a sip is enough for the berry to start acting when mixed with the other ingredients in your stomach. When properly prepared, the unnamed berry, mixed with the other ingredients, remembers its new molecular state, down to the last atom. Therefore, when the cocktail enters your body and undergoes changes by mixing with the stomach acid and other bodily secretions, the special effect of the berry kicks in, returning to its original state as a cocktail, made of raspberries, blueberries, ice cream, milk, and whipped cream.
Yes, you've understood it correctly. According to this theory, the Grimace Shake transforms you into itself. When you drink the cocktail, it's not you digesting it, but it's digesting you.
Later on, when you are reduced to nothing but a shell containing the delicious cocktail, Grimace will come for you, taking your body, the insides of which have entirely turned into the cocktail. He'll transport you to the basement of McDonald's. There, your entire contents will be emptied into the Grimace Shake, and they will sell it to the next unsuspecting customer. McDonald's won't stop Grimace, as no commercial company would ever give up an infinite and, most importantly, free-to-make product. All these theories have their place. Some of them may even turn out to be true. But we will never know, because that's what theories are for. I am just telling them to you. You are listening. and together we are arriving at some thoughts, each to our own.
After reading a lot of information about conspiracies and theories related to McDonald's, I simply couldn't help but come up with my own theory. The fast food restaurant McDonald's wants you to fear it. And I have evidence.
That's how I'll start the next video anyway. Rock and roll.
Я каждый день бухаю.
У меня длинный хай. Я каждый день бухаю. Я не люблю трудиться. Я мама сдохнет в 30. Когда мне будет 40, я сильно пожалею. Но это время скоро. Я все еще успею. Я каждый день бухаю. Я каждый день бухаю.